This week on State Champs Extra Point, Mother Nature wreaking havoc on Friday night. The majority of Metro games moved to Saturday following a wicked storm. Out in Livonia, it wasn't the wild weather that stole the show, but the fantastic finishes. We've got a pair of hard-hitting tussles. And that's just the start of it. College football taking a back seat to Prep Saturday. The Extra Point is on now. State Champs Extra Point is presented by Lawrence Technological University. Possible is everything. Also brought to you in part by Hungry Howie's. Your next fundraiser comes with flavored crust. Go to doughrazor.com for details. Van Andel Institute. Get involved. Join us at purplecommunity.org. Henry Ford Health System. Together, we can. Star Lane's Imagine Theater in Royal Oak. Your ultimate entertainment destination. And our friends with the United Auto Workers and Chrysler. What's up, Southeast Michigan? This is your high school football show, State Champs Extra Point. We're proudly brought to you by Lawrence Tech. My name is Lauren Plant. Week 2 of the football season, and we've got a ton of great highlights loaded up for you, including yesterday's Little Brown Jug game between Centerline and Warren Lincoln. Up to 12 games you're going to get right here every week on The Point. However, we're a well-rounded show. We're more than just highlights. Our Coach of the Week is a first-time defending state champion. How's he handling that newfound pressure? The legendary FRACASSA is in our Coach's Corner, and former Catholic Central star, now Tennessee Titan Mike Martin, taking you inside the trenches. We're schooling you on proper hydration, too. If it's high school football you want, we're about to quench your thirst. Let's roll. Lots of postponements Friday night due to severe weather, but we did get in a game from the Detroit Public School League. That's where we begin. Detroit Denby at home to take on the Colts of Detroit Collegiate Prep at Northwestern. 5-4 a season ago, the Colts in white looking to start the season 2-0. Had a hot start. Signal caller Danny Witt on the play action. Rolling to his left, airs it out to a wide open Derek Baxter. 25-yard touchdown. Collegiate up 6-0. The Tars, coming off an impressive 7-3 record from 2013, beat Renaissance in the season opener. Still in the first, Tars retort. Senior QB Adrian Hawthorne will buy some time, looking end zone and finding the senior Malik Whitehead. 20-yard score, game tied at 6 after the first. Second quarter action and the Colts knocking on the door. Baxter on the slant pattern will haul in a 10-yard touchdown. Northwestern led 18-14 at the break. Contest went back and forth in the second half. In the end, Tars getting it done. Hawthorne to the junior Lamont Montgomery. Denby wins this one 38-30. Tars are 2-0.
Go Big Green! Rock it out!
We stay in the PSL as Cass Tech went on the road to take on the Pershing Doughboys. State champions 2 of the last 3 years, the Technicians tactically efficient in the first quarter. The Mr. Football Kennedy and Michigan recruit Mike Weber. When he gets a step on you outside, forget about it. 45 yards to the house, Cass up 6-0 after the first. The Technicians took control of this one early and never let up. Mirror of the last play, except this is Kaman Sard getting the ball in motion. He has reservations for 6. 54-yarder, Cass Tech rolls 31-2 the final. Let's go to the OAA Blue Division opener as Birmingham Groves taking their big win over Seaholm last week to tango with Ferndale. First half Friday night action. Junior quarterback Zach Van Foschen making something out of nothing. Scrambling, nice moves to find daylight, 15-yard TD, 6-0 Falcons, and after the Storms would finish this game up yesterday. The overnight break didn't affect the Falcons. Still first half action. Sophomore tailback Ernest Allen in the end zone, grows up 14. But back comes Ferndale just before halftime. Senior quarterback Markel McCoy throws it up, and what a grab by Gardell Mosley. That's concentration, people. 30-yard gain down to the 2. Ronald Goagan punches it in on the next play. Ferndale down 14-8 at the break.
I knew they were going to give us challenges, but we can play with these guys. All right? You guys got to believe. We say believe after everything we do. You guys got to believe it. We're right back in the game. We just marched the ball right down their throats. All right? We can continue to do that, but we got to play some defense.
but it would be all Birmingham Groves in the second half. Junior Cedric Boswell charging right into your living room. Falcons up 20-8 going into the final quarter. The exclamation point, Allen, second rushing score on the day. Birmingham Groves wins by a 28-16 final. This team could be scary come late October. Let's stay in the OAA. Farmington Hills Harrison welcoming in the Rochester Falcons. And this was a Harrison big-time victory. Omari Rogers in for the 4-yard score, 7-0 Hawks. Later, off the bad snap on the punt attempt for Rochester, the junior Dominic Shepard recovering it in the end zone. That's a touchdown. Harrison rolls 36-0 the final. Hawks flying at 2-0 on the season. Let's take a quick peek at the Friday night battle of the Chippewa Valley School District, Macomb, Dakota, and Chippewa Valley. Pick it up in the second quarter as Maurice Moon hooks up with Daniel Crawford, slips a tackle, goes in for the 33-yard touchdown. Dakota went on to beat Chippewa Valley for the 16th straight time, 42-21 the final. To the KLAA, the Northville Mustangs all fired up for a road brouhaha with the Vikings from Walled Lake Central. Looking to stay perfect in 2014, Walled Lake Central in blue knew this could be a huge statement win for the program. Opening possession, senior quarterback Nick Crum on the option keeper, working his way, 45-yard touchdown. Vikings led 7-0. They'd finish this one up on Saturday. Northville jumped out when the game started back up. Junior quarterback Justin Zimbo up the gut. See you later. 55 yards to Pater. We were knotted at 7. Mustangs muscled up more in the second quarter. Zimbo looking, delivers to Kevin Back in the back of the end zone. Northville up 14-7 just before halftime. Zimbo will hook up this time with Terrell Cunningham. 30-yard pitch and catch. Northville went into the locker room up 22-7.
I challenged you before we walked out to go out there and punch him in the mouth, and you did. Now, fellas, let's go out for round 3 and let's knock him out.
Walled Lake Central came out ready to play. The senior Parker Crouppen. Look at that, 90-yard touchdown. We had a new ball game. We were tied at 22, but the Stangs would pull away in the end. Zimbo going deep. Ball's tipped, and Cunningham comes down with it. 85-yard cruise. Northville takes it 43-28.
Hey everyone, I'm Stephanie. Do you want to hear about some of the best Friday night football games that happen each week? Make sure to tune in to the State Champs High School Football Radio Show every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. with Tom and Lauren. CBS Sports Radio, 1270 a.m. Podcast info is at our website, statechampsnetwork.com.
We want you. We are Lawrence Technological University, and we don't want just anybody. We want students who are curious and driven, students with a passion for hard work and good times, students who will move right in and shoot for the best that Lawrence Tech Southfield campus has to offer. So if you believe that everything is possible and that possible is everything, we want you at LTU.
My purple is defeating cancer.
My purple is my grandma.
Everyone has a reason for joining Purple Community.
My purple is fighting Parkinson's.
My purple is my mother.
Because that's where the fight to end cancer, Parkinson's, and other diseases begins. When you participate in a Purple Community event, 100% of your donation goes directly to research at Van Andel Institute. Get involved. Join us at purplecommunity.org.
Welcome back to State Champs Extra Point. I'm David Faze. We'll continue our highlights now as we check out another duo of gridiron battles. We start in Livonia for a KLAA crossover as the Churchill Chargers welcomed in the Brighton Bulldogs. A game 2 days in the making, no thanks to Mother Nature. We pick things up just before halftime. Brighton going for it on 4th and 17 as junior quarterback Grant Dunachik connects with Ben Finnegan over the middle for the 34-yard touchdown. Bulldogs led 7-0 as we went to break. Churchill would answer in the third quarter. Senior running back Paul Romaine breaks one up the middle, fighting off tacklers as he punches it in from 13 yards out, and it was tied at 7 going to the fourth quarter. Brighton looking for the go-ahead score. Dunacek feeds it to Finnegan on the swing pass, and watch the senior slip right through a couple Charger defenders as he goes in for the 45-yard touchdown. Bulldogs take a 14-7 lead, but there was no quit in Churchill. Fourth down play with 1:28 left in the contest. Senior quarterback Brian also Brooks going long and connects with Tim Doolin for the 48-yard touchdown. That tied it at 14 as we headed to overtime. The Chargers would strike on their first play in the extra session, as also Brooks would do the honors with the quarterback keeper from 10 yards out. Churchill now in the lead at 21-14. Brighton trying to answer, but Dunacek's pass in the end zone gets picked off by sophomore Jamal Allen as Livonia Churchill holds on to beat the Bulldogs. 21-14 the final. Conference bragging rights on the line as the Panthers from Centerline welcomed in the boys from Warren Lincoln in the battle for the Brown Jug. Scoreless in the first until this botched punt snap leads to a loose ball, and sophomore Steven Lucas beats everyone to it in the end zone for a Panthers touchdown and a 7-0 advantage. Second quarter action with Centerline in the red zone. Senior QB Ryan Walker is going to hook up with tight end TJ Sledge over the middle, and the senior will pound his way into the end zone to help the Panthers jump ahead 2 scores. Closing minutes of the first half, and this time it's Walker's turn to tally up the score as he lunges over the goal line for the 3-yard TD, and at the break, Centerline led 21-0. More from the home team in the third. Once again, the Panthers deep in enemy territory, and Walker will get it done as he finds senior Jacob Brooklier for the 5-yard scoring connection to make it a 28-0 ball game. They would put it out of reach in the fourth, as this 40-yard bomb to Brooklier would set up another Centerline touchdown. The Panthers celebrate as they pick up a huge conference win early in the season, and in doing so, capture the Brown Jug for the first time in 3 years. 34-0, your final.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Coach's Corner with Michigan's winningest high school football coach of all time, Al FRACASSA. And Al, this week, I want to tap into your brain on your offensive philosophy. Where did you get this knack for offense? Where did it come from? Because you were so instrumental and so creative in what you brought to the table every year.
Well, you know, it started back when I was playing football before going to high school. I mean, we used to go to the schoolyard and kind of fool around. Then I went into the service and played a little football in the service, and I met some really good football players there. I was a quarterback. We discussed offensive philosophy, and they came up with all kinds of trick plays, and we used to have fun talking about the trick plays. And we had a double pass, you know, where the ball hits the ground and jumps up, and the receiver catches the ball, and he'll fake like it is a fumble, but then he'll kind of be a good actor and throw it downfield. And we threw a couple of touchdowns in high school with that play. I remember when we went down to Cincinnati and played against Faust at Moeller High School, and we threw that ball, that bounce pass, and we didn't win the game, but everybody got a thrill out of the play that we called. Offensive philosophy is, what does your team do best? And if you do what your team does best, you're probably going to be a better football team. Like last year, I thought we had a great short passing game. Do what your team does best, and you might have a chance to win.
Absolutely. So I think the message is, you know, not necessarily sticking every year to just the style of football that you want to play, cater it to the style of kids that you have.
Absolutely.
A game that will be coming up next week between a couple of schools out on the west side of the state, and I know you're familiar with at least one of them, is Lowell taking on East Grand Rapids, two really proud programs.
Boy, I'm telling you, that's going to be tough. Those are good programs, and those boys play very, very hard. It should be a good game.
Absolutely. So that's one, if you happen to be on the west side of the state, you want to make sure you head over to East Grand Rapids and check that one out. Coach's Corner is presented by our friends with the UAW and Chrysler. It's time for rankings presented by Star Lanes Imagine Theater in Royal Oak, your ultimate entertainment destination. State Champs analyst and writer Tom Markowski is here, and we are ranking the top 5 divisions in the state. This is how we see it. It's on your screen. Tom, why is the Catholic League's Central Division the best in the state?
I think you have to look at the history of the programs, the coaches that have been there for so long, and just look at the history of the state playoffs. Brother Rice, Catholic Central, Orchard Lake St. Mary's, even Warren De La Salle has gotten to the finals before. They haven't won a title, but the other ones have. And even UAD Jesuit, look at them. They won 2 playoff games last year, and they're at the bottom rung. And they have so many great players. They draw from so many areas. You look at all the Division I players that they get. The only one that I can see, Catholic Central, doesn't produce a lot of Division I talent, but the other ones do.
Absolutely, and the fact that you've got the OK Red ranked second above the OAA Red, that might surprise some people.
Well, they went 5-1 in the first week in the OK Red, so I got to put them a notch above everybody else. That could change as the season goes on, but you look at teams like Rockford and Hudsonville, they're going to be there throughout the season.
Absolutely. Now, these rankings could change. This is how we see it right now. You don't agree? Tell us why on Facebook. Search State Champs Network or tell us on Twitter at StateChampsNet. If you make a good argument, I'm going to send you a State Champs hat and a t-shirt. So bring it.
Hey State Champs Nation, get ready for 2 of our awesome specials coming up on Sunday, September 27th here on Channel 7. First at 1 p.m. is our Beyond Sports special on robotics, and at 1:30 is our Legend special on Coach Tom Mack. Trust me, you won't want to miss them.
Fundraising should be fresh, flavorful, and simple. We have the perfect solution at Hungry Howie's, Dough Raiser. Your nonprofit organization can sell paper pizza certificates that your customers can redeem for 1 medium pizza at participating Hungry Howie's locations. Go to doughraiser.com to learn about, sign up for, and order everything Dough Raiser. Request a Dough Raiser kit for your group today. Your next fundraiser comes with flavored crust. Welcome to Hungry Howie's Dough Raiser.
You think you're getting past me? By the time you experience the world of pain. Here I come, Lancaster. Deep breaths, baby, deep breaths. Game on, Cancer!
Get in the game at GameOnCancer.com.
I'm Sean Belegian, and it's time once again for the Coach of the Week, presented by Lawrence Tech. Our selection this week from Clarkston, Kurt Richardson.
Great win. I told you it was going to be a heavyweight fight. They didn't quit. They kept coming back at you. You had the answers.
Coach Richardson is in his 28th year as the head man at Clarkston and 38th year overall. For Coach, it's all about a labor of love, as he explains.
I loved working with kids. I just progressed from little tots to junior high kids and then to the high school.
With over 200 career victories and a title just last year, the goal is the same as it ever was, week to week. With a target clearly on their back, Clarkston is looking to be special once again this season. However, after last year, it does not change what happened last year in regards to this year.
We stole a great quote from Jimbo Fisher in Florida State, and he talks about we're not defending last year's state. They can't take that away from you. I thought that was a great quote, and he says, there's a target on our back, and people are going to shoot at that target. Well, we're going to shoot back. So that's been kind of our theme.
The Coach of the Week is presented by Lawrence Tech. For all the great things going on with the athletic program, go to ltuathletics.com. For State Champs Extra Point, I'm Sean Belegian.
I'm athletic trainer Brent LEYSER with Henry Ford Concussion Clinic and Sports Medicine, bringing you the Henry Ford Sports Medicine Minute. Today I'd like to talk to you about hydration. You want to make sure that you are staying hydrated with all of your athletic performances. Even losing as much as 2 to 5 pounds worth of body weight can greatly affect your athletic performance. One way that we can monitor the amount of weight loss is by measuring how much you weigh before and after practice. For every pound that is lost, you should rehydrate with 16 ounces of fluid, whether that be a sports drink, water, Gatorade, or Powerade of some kind. For any other questions, please contact your Henry Ford Sports Medicine Specialist.
Presented by Henry Ford Health System. Together, we can. Back to the highlights. MAC wide opener. Grosse Pointe South at home to line up against the Romeo Bulldog. First quarter, GP South in blue and driving. Senior quarterback Sam Blanzy throwing it up. His twin brother Brian comes down with it. That put the Blue Devils up 7-0. But the Dogs bit back later in the quarter. The junior Paul Hurley over to his tight end Mitchell Heimbach, 15-yard touchdown. We were tied at 7. Blue Devils had the pitchforks. The Blancy brothers doing the honors. Sam with the bomb, Brian with the grab. This was a 90-yard touchdown. Grosse Pointe South is 2-0. They beat Romeo 35-14. We head down south for a Huron League opener and one of the only Southeast Michigan games that actually finished on Friday night. The Chiefs from New Boston Huron and GROSSE getting together. Huron looking to go 2-0. First quarter, junior quarterback Matthew Hartley is a dual threat. 650 rushing yards last season. Chiefs led 7-0 after the first. All New Boston Huron. Senior running back Ian Robinson ran for nearly 800 yards a season ago with 11 TDs. Chiefs lead at 14. Next possession, it's Robinson once again. 20-yard gallop. New Boston Huron moves to 2-0 for the first time in 4 years. They blank GROSSE 35-0.
Coming up next on Extra Point, a former hometown high school and college football star is now getting it done every Sunday in the NFL. Inside the Trenches is next.
We want you. We are LTU, Lawrence Technological University, and is one of the nation's best schools for engineering, architecture, and technology. We don't want just anybody. We want students who are curious and driven, students who want to change the world through technology, science, and design. So if you believe that possible is everything, we want you at LTU.
Interesting. Look, now that the Howie roll is ready to go for lunch, we need to assist our co-workers in making their way to Hungry Howie's.
By stealing lunches.
Stealing. I am inspiring. I'm motivating.
Who's the dead man?
Quick, eat this.
How's that taste?
Horrible.
Get a Howie roll with a 20-ounce Pepsi for just $5. Or get a meal deal for any size budget. Now that's an idea.
Hungry?
Howie's!
Define the fabric of a team. It's not selfish. It's not boastful. It's about many, sewn together to reach one common goal. But in order to win, you must learn to work together.
I'm Mike Martin, former Detroit Catholic Central Shamrock, Michigan Wolverine, and current Tennessee Titan. Welcome inside the trenches. Fellas, this week we're gonna be working a get-off drill. It's pure reaction. Now, what I'm gonna be doing is, off the snap of the ball, as a defensive lineman, I gotta get off the snap of the ball faster than the guy who's trying to block me. So guys, when you're trying to anticipate the snap count, you gotta look at body language. You gotta see if guys are getting on their toes, leaning, so you can anticipate when that center's gonna snap the ball. And you almost gotta have a sixth sense. I mean, we're all football players here, and we all know we can get a beat on the snap and learn how the quarterback likes to snap the ball with the center. So just pay attention. Uncommon actions bring uncommon results. Fellas, you gotta train hard and dream big, and good things will happen, I promise you. I'm Mike Martin, I'll see you next week.
We're the girls from Livonia Churchill.
And it's time to wrap up the highlights on Extra Point.
We gotta jump on them early, okay? Let them know right off the bat that they shouldn't have woke up this morning. Back to Livonia for another KLAA crossover as the Franklin Patriots at home to take on a much improved Milford team. Like most Friday night matchups, this one had to be completed yesterday afternoon. We picked up the action on Saturday in the second quarter, tied at 14. Patriots facing a 4th and 1. The senior, Nick Binkowitz, fights his way in for the touchdown. Patriots a 7-point lead. Franklin trying to rebound from a 35-0 loss to rival Livonia Stevenson in the opener. Junior quarterback Denzel Adams dumps to Nathan Rogers on the screen. The senior, the 13-yard score. Franklin with huge momentum of 27-14 as we headed into halftime. This is the first time these two have ever played against each other. Milford trying to mount a comeback. Big play right here. Junior QB Joshua Johnson connects with Griffin Ogg. The senior does the rest. 65 yards to the house. Mavericks trail 27-21 going into the fourth quarter. They'd add the go-ahead score on the first play of the final stanza. The senior Tyler Carrier received the direct snap and check the effort here. Busting tackles down the sideline, 60-yard touchdown. The Mavs grab victory number 1 of the young season. This was a thriller. 28-27 the final. And finally, another KLAA crossover clash. The Canton Chiefs welcoming in Heartland. Pick things up late in the first half. Heartland in white, trailing 14-7. Eagles going for it on 4th down. Noah Marshall to the air. The junior tight end Nathan Skeen pulling in a 23-yard score, tied at 14. Canton making noise in the third. Senior running back Chuck Turf into the paint. Chiefs led 21-14 at halftime. We go late in the third quarter now. Heartland trailing 21-17 at this point, but Marshall on the keeper. You can color this an upset. Heartland hangs on and beats Canton 24-21. Our second edition of Extra Point is now in the books. For anything and everything State Champs, I suggest you sit back and soak in the newly redesigned State Champs website. StateChampsNetwork.com is the URL. If you missed any of this show or any of our shows, you can find it there. You want to set your game? Facebook us, tweet at us, email us. This is your high school football show. We're here for 8 more weeks, so make sure you plan on the Point at noon every Sunday. State Champs Extra Point is presented by Lawrence Technological University. Possible is everything. Also brought to you in part by Hungry Howie's. Your next fundraiser comes with flavored crust. Go to doughrazor.com for details. Van Andel Institute. Get involved. Join us at purplecommunity.org. Henry Ford Health System. Together, we can. Star Lanes Imagine Theater in Royal Oak. Your ultimate entertainment destination. And our friends with the United Auto Workers and Chrysler.